Millions of social media impressions about Kamala Harris and a buzz that's kept her name trending through today. We're not talking about the debate, but Taylor Swift's endorsement. Swift is an established political influencer, getting 35,000 plus people to register to vote in just 24 hours last year. Her post-debate Instagram message of endorsement saying, "I've made my choice," went out to her more than 280 million followers. And she signed off with a clear jab at J.D. Vance's past comments, posting her Time magazine cover photo with her beloved Benjamin Button and signing it as Childless Cat Lady. Governor Walz, a fellow cat owner, heard about the endorsement while he was on MSNBC last night.
Swifties, you heard it. We know that it's there. That was eloquent, and it was clear. And that's the type of courage we need in America to stand up. You have somebody like Taylor Swift coming out, making that very clear. This would be the opportunity, Swifties. KamalaHarris.com. Get on over there. Give us a hand. Get things going.
I want to bring in North Carolina State Democratic Party Chair Anderson Clayton. I should say the youngest state party chair in the country. And Julie Roginski is back with me. So, Anderson, that's part of what makes you so perfect for this. Because we've been talking a lot about the youth vote. And this wasn't just an endorsement. She made an argument. And I want to read part of it. "I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades." Look, you're a Democrat, you're a Democratic Party chair. But I wonder, realistically, does she help move the needle in any way?
Absolutely. As someone that's been listening to Taylor Swift since she was 13 years old, I can definitely say that there's a lot of young women and a lot of young people out there in general who look up to her and admire, what she's been able to do with her career and her trajectory, and being able to fully put your support behind the first woman president who's going to stand up for abortion rights in North Carolina and across this country this year. It's something that we're so excited to see. Taylor Swift was responsible for over 90,000 people checking their voter registration this last year alone. And so we're excited to see how the Swiftie Army can full force come in and really help propel this election forward.
So, Julie, Donald Trump reacted to Swift. Let me play a little bit of that.
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. She'll probably pay a price for it in the marketplace.
Is the Trump campaign underestimating her influence?
I mean, the Trump campaign was begging for her endorsement. Remember, the 4chan cinematic universe had all these memes out that she endorsed him, false memes, as it were.
Yeah, she said it was in part AI made her realize she had to stand up and say, this is me and this is what I believe.
But that was very much promulgated by Trump supporters. So they clearly wanted her endorsement. Look, even Donald Trump knows you can't underestimate Taylor Swift. She's not going to pay a price in the marketplace. There's really nothing that Taylor Swift can do to pay a price in the marketplace. She's probably the most famous person, certainly the most famous woman in the world. And I don't think that her endorsement of Kamala Harris is going to hurt her. What it's going to do is bring a bunch, hopefully, of Generation Z voters and millennial voters to pay attention to this race if they weren't paying attention already, to take a look at Kamala Harris if they weren't taking a look at her already, to make them feel more comfortable with Kamala Harris, whom they don't know because they don't, obviously 30% of voters say that they don't know her as well as they want to already. So this is, you can't underestimate this endorsement. I don't think celebrity endorsements matter all that much.
Almost ever.
But I think this particular one does because of the influence that she has over the specific kinds of voters that Democrats need to get to the polls.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Anderson, that any pop star has ever had, for example, city to city, the economic impact that Taylor Swift has had. Ask the airlines the impact that she has had. She has an audience of tens of millions of young people, but liking a post is one thing. I wonder how you, as a party chair, and we've talked about this, you've got a lot of campus activity all around North Carolina. How do you use it then to push young people to first register, which you've already been doing, right? But then actually get them to go to the polls?
Really, it's about making politics fun for young people and a place for them to be a part of it again. I think that so many young folks have felt disaffected over the last year and honestly 8 years that they've seen Donald Trump in our political landscape because of just the heinous things that he says about our LGBT plus communities, women, taking and stripping rights away from young people in places like North Carolina and in the South in general. And I'm on UNCW's campus today. We have been crisscrossing the state across college campuses and talking with young voters. And people here are excited to get registered to vote. They're excited about the endorsement. We've got friendship bracelets that we're out here making on campuses with us right now, and ways to really engage people across the state that, maybe would not have heard about or gotten involved with politics otherwise, but they are because they're seeing the pop culture trends in that direction. And it's actually mimicking something really well that President Barack Obama did in 2008 when he won the state the first time in making that case for the Democrats nationally here.